Hello everyone, it's me again, Nancy Finch, doing Nancy Finch Nan Talks. And welcome very much. I'm really glad you came here because if you didn't, I'd be talking to myself, wouldn't I? I hope you've had a good week since the last time I was on here. And I really enjoyed using my own tools actually. As I give them to you, I always enforce them again and do them again in my own head. Last week it was watch your language. That was number 35, and this week is number 36, and I'm doing quite well with these talks actually. I've got 70 to do. And as I say, this week it's going to be number 36, and it's called Step Into Your Hero. So I hope you can enjoy this and perhaps share it, and if you want to look at it again or share it with friends, or you can direct them to my website www.nancyfinch.co.uk. You can pick up any of the talks from there and on YouTube as well. They're all on there. They all do different things. They all are really good for the body. I keep showing you this little chart here, but all of my things I do, the talks, the meditations, everything I do is geared for all body parts, to keep the body working well in all those areas. So we have these chakra areas here that are affected by feelings and emotion, and when we treat that, if you like, if we got stress or worry, we'll shut those energies down. If we can treat that, if we can identify that is a problem, and we can override it with an emotional tool, that we can help to grow and develop ourselves. So that's what I'm doing with all the things I do, and I love doing it. So this week, as I say, it's Step Into Your Hero. So you might ask, what is that about? Okay, well, sometimes we feel a little bit less in our lives. We might lack confidence, we might lack ability, we might feel that we're not good enough, we might feel low in energy, we might feel anything, physical, emotional changes. And of course you're going to get your low days, of course you are. But if you have something that you can give yourself a little bit more energy, emotional energy, physical energy from using this exercise, then you will definitely benefit, and physically all your cells develop a better energy, and they fix and they help thrive, and you will have more fun with your life because you're feeling more energized, and perhaps your emotional balloon then will move from here to here. And everything I do is to try and get that result. So Step Into Your Hero, it's a concept that's been used for a while, for many, many years, but the way I use it is slightly different. I imagine, or you can use a circle, or you can use a hula hoop, and you can imagine it's on the ground, and you are you, and you have certain people you admire. So it might be your heroes, might be your mother, or your friend, or a celebrity. I've got several heroes. I've got five of them actually that I take into the circle, or I can take through an imaginary door. That's another way we can use this. We can either imagine that we have a circle that we sort of bring everybody into as you step forward, breathe and step forward, or I use this one mostly, actually. I made this up myself, this bit, where I open a door and I hold the hands of my heroes and they walk through the door with me into a room. So it's a new opportunity. You're taking, the doors open and you walk through with your heroes as a team, okay? That's the way I use it. As I say, people have been using this concept of walking into a circle for a long time. But this is slightly different. You can use it that way if you want, but you can use the door as well, which is really good because you've got courage, or you've got strength, or you've got whatever it is you're looking for and need to move through that door. And that door for me symbolizes a situation, something that you really need to be good at, something you need to achieve, something. It might be a new job, it might be a talk or something, it might be a talk at a wedding or something. If you were really scared of speaking, you might use this exercise for to step into your hero. So you can be a little bit of that. You can have, what you're doing is you're kind of identifying what you really love or admire about somebody. It might be a famous speaker you love, or you think that person's really confident. I wish I was like that. Well, all you'd have to do is imagine that concept, that essence of who they are is actually already inside you. And when you kind of step into it, you're bringing that up from the inside of the subconscious self. So you already have a lot of qualities that you don't know you've got. I mean, people don't realise that the people they admire are quite often have qualities that they have themselves. You see, you only see or admire somebody as a mirror. And if you like that person, you think, oh, I really wish I was like that, or I admire them for this, and I like that quality, you generally have it. But perhaps you haven't woken up to it, or you haven't seen it yet, and you haven't seen the evidence of it, which is why it's really good to use this exercise, because then you develop that as you're using this, okay? So I have, for instance, in my circle or my door that I open, I have 5 different celebrities that I really admire, that I really love, and they're all sort of spiritual, loving people, and I really think that they inspire me, okay? Everybody needs somebody to inspire them. So I've got wisdom, I won't tell you who they are because I could go on forever, but there's wisdom, the concepts are really important. It doesn't matter who they are, and it doesn't matter whether it's your mum or your friend or your sister or your brother or someone else. It really matters about what they represent to you. So with me, it was wisdom, and it's professionalism, it's wit, it's love, and it's charismatic. Those 5 people, I mean, it's absolutely brilliant to bring them into my consciousness and make me more for you, which is what I'm doing. I have those qualities, but okay, I might not see them. So I might need to gently remind my subconscious that I have these things. I admire that person for that and that person for that. And whatever it is, I just imagine I take them by the hand, and we all hold hands and we walk through that door. Or you can use the circle. As I say, walk into the circle. It's really fantastic to use this because it's very good for a feeling of being in charge, being in control, finding out what it is that you need to feel, and then feeling that gives you a feeling of achievement. It gives you a feeling, it tells your subconscious that you actually are attaining what you're pretending you feel. It's good for lots of reasons, but one I've made a note here, it's very good for your yellow. It gives you a really good sense of self, even though you're kind of taking in or borrowing, if you like, not the concepts of what you love about that person. You're not taking their energy, don't worry. You're taking what you love about them and you're drawing that to you, identifying with it and using it to develop your own, okay? We all have someone we admire. I've got someone who loves doing that with sport as well. He likes to pretend, when he's doing sport, he thinks my hero is that person, and I'm going to sort of take that person onto the activity he was doing, and he feels as if he's a team with that person, even though they're not there, of course. He's just taking what he admires about that guy into his own consciousness, and that inspires you, and it makes you feel like, as I say, you've got support. So when you're doing this exercise, it helps you with your sense of self, developing those things that you admire about another person. And it also helps you feel like you're a team, that you're not alone with this, that you've got people that, like a family of people around you that will help lift you and make you more. So it feels like you're a child holding parents' hands, really, because you admire these people and you aspire to be like them. And that's why it's so powerful. Because when you walk into that circle or walk through the door, you are a team. And that's lovely. So you'll feel better on this area here if you use this, but mostly on the yellow. And of course, it's mindful. So it's all about the crown, okay? So you're going to have some great ideas. You're going to be whatever it is you're aspiring to be, because your subconscious already knows what that's like. It's because you've been admiring somebody else or their ways for a while, and you sort of take note of what they're about. On a subconscious level, you can reproduce that because you already know. You've taken all that instruction in without realizing it. You've learned how to be that person. So it helps the body parts of those areas to work. So you'll find you'll physically feel better. That's what I was talking about earlier. You'll have more energy or whatever it is you want. But emotionally, you'll feel better. You'll feel support. You'll just feel great. I use it all the time. Well, when I do talks, when I do these things, whenever I do anything, I used to be really shy, and now I'm not. I just take these people in, and I'm me now. I am still me, but I am taking in those other things that I needed to be reminded about, that I really learned and maybe not having the chance to use all the time. So going back to basics of this, it's just finding out who is your hero. I mean, it can actually be yourself. One person I taught this to, he said, I want to be my own hero. I said, okay, then go back to a time when you were feeling what you want to feel, confident, achieved, in control. What is it you wanted to feel? Well, what did you feel, sorry, and what do you want to feel now? So if there's a part of you that has those feelings that you're not in touch with now, you could think back to a time that you did have them. And this is a really nice way of using this exercise. So you can take that part of you in imagination into the circle or through the door. So really what you're doing is remembering what you are when you're doing that particular expression of this exercise, which is really good. So what do you admire about yourself? And this is how he used it. He admired certain qualities he had, and he reminded himself of that. And he took the memory of that through the doors, into the circle, or whatever. As I say, it's your choice. I prefer the room I made up because it was opening the door to change. And you have to be brave enough to go through that door. But you can choose it any way you wish. Have you got something coming up in your life that you could do with more courage or confidence or ability, satisfaction? What is it you want and who do you admire? And you have to keep it very simple. You know, if you keep it simple, it's like having one word that represents that person. It could be that they're peaceful, or that they're grounded, or that they're in control, or that they're loved. People love them. It could be something you really, or perhaps they're just warm and you want to be that warm person. Or perhaps this person is really positive and you really want to be positive. You want to take that positivity through that door. And that's what you can do. You can imagine you've opened this door and you've taken this person that represented with you. And there isn't really a limit to how many heroes you can have. I've got 5, but it doesn't matter. You can have 3, you can have 1 if you wanted. It doesn't make any difference as long as you are happy with what you're taking through. Okay? So think about what it is that you would like. You know, what's missing from your life? Is it motivation? Who do you know that is motivated? One person actually said, I'm taking you into the circle as well as other things. I thought I felt so honoured. I was part of her circle, or I was part of her, her change. Because what she did is she had many people that she admired and felt that was feeding her, and I was just the motivation. I was the inspiration for her. So she took me in the circle and she became a little bit of me, which is really, as I say, quite flattering, and I'm very humbled. But anyone can do this. You can be part of someone else's imagination and circle that they choose to step into. I mean, if you have something like you inspire your family, they might want to take that point of view into their circle. You can teach this to other people. Or as I say, imagine opening the doors. Mine are great big wooden doors, I imagine, and they've got great big sort of brass handle, doorknobs, and I open them up and I feel as if I can walk through any door. I can do anything. It does really give you that feeling once you start to take in the concepts of taking other people in with you. Because you don't want to be alone doing that. It's how you aspire to be more confident. It's how you end up being more authentic, because you're developing qualities that you see in another person that you admire. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to get creative with you now. I want you to imagine right now, you can choose which way you want to do this, but I want you to imagine, say, 3 people. Let's choose 3 people that you admire, and that seems to be a common thing that people tend to use, 3 people. So, okay, let's have 3 people you admire for different reasons. Is it because that one's loving, or that one's professional, or that one's abundant, that one there's got loads of money, or whatever? What is it? And it doesn't matter what the concept is. Are they there's something you want. There's something you want. There's something you would really like to have. It could be, as I say, confidence. It could be trust. That person always trusts. That person's always grounded. Let's take those 3 people now. Choose 3 people. and you can do this in your own time, and imagine you're holding the hands and they're holding hands, and you're going to then take a deep breath. You're going to take in that feeling and that feeling and that feeling, whatever they represent to you. And you're going to walk through the door, and you can do anything. Or, as I say, you can step into the circle with them. And it's a bit cozier in there, but I like to open the door. So see which one suits you. Play with it. Play with the idea, because everybody's different. Everyone has a different way of looking at life. So you might find that the door is a bit scary and you want you to stay in the circle. Just bring them into yourself. Take those people into you. Okay, what they actually mean to you, what they represent to you. And have a think about what that is. I mean, sometimes it's hard just to narrow what you love down, into one word. You might love a family member and you think, I love them for so many reasons. But I like that, and that. Choose the one that you feel is lacking or needs developing in yourself. Choose that concept. Choose that bit that makes you feel good and own it. You're owning it with a breath, you're owning it with a movement. And when you're doing a movement, you're taking one step forward. I mean, with the door, you take one step forward and open the door with them. And you walk through. Movement is really important. If you do something like stand up and you step into an imaginary circle with them, or you open the door, you are telling your brain that something different has happened. And action always does that. It makes you believe that on a subconscious level, and that's massive. So it would be really, really good if you could practice and play with this and see how you feel. I mean, is there anything coming up that kind of frightens your inner child or makes you feel a little bit, can I do this? If you ever doubt yourself, this is a really good exercise. If you want to make sure you're a team with yourself, with your inner child, your higher self is creating this as you're imagining that you're taking these people in. It could be people that they don't even have to be here. It could be someone you admired from many hundreds of years ago. It doesn't matter. It's a concept. You're taking in the concept of what they mean to you. And you're going to develop that. So you can be witty and loving and professional and wise, or whatever it is you want to be. It's all your choice. And as I say, all the talks I do are from the book I'm writing, The Choice is Mine. And this is just basically an idea that you can use to empower you and to keep your body working well, like I say, in those areas. You want this one to be open because this is your, as I say, your authentic sense of self. When this is open, you are naturally more confident. And you've just got to play with this to develop that. That's what I like about it. And I've gradually noticed the more I've done it, the more I do this exercise on a weekly basis maybe or whatever, the stronger and the easier it gets to do. It has a stronger effect, and I trust it because then you feel the difference when you've measured it. When you've gone through that wedding speech or whatever you're doing, or you're doing whatever it is that might scare you in a child or make you doubt yourself, you have got an achievement that gives you trust. Nothing better than that. If you have trust, lots of parts of your body will thrive on that. These two open when you have trust, and so does the base. When you have trust, you can't really worry as much as you used to. It has a knock-on effect. So think now of perhaps 3 things, you can always expand it later or whatever you need to do, of 3 things that you really lack and would love to have, and think of 3 people that represent it, or vice versa. Think of them and what you love about them, and take that into yourself as you walk through the doors or into the circle. So yeah, it could also be yourself, like I say. So that was something I've been using for years and years now, and I really love it because it did help me to move into new ground of myself, really, and to take chances and get out my own comfort zone. Things that were presented to me that I could do, I used to be really afraid of. I'd be insecure about myself, not knowing if I'm enough or can I do that, and now I just take those beautiful people into the circle or through the door. Your choice. So now you know how to do it. You're taking a breath, you're taking them through, and you are going to just feel as if you're a team. You only have to do this for a minute or so for it to be internalized and do the good that I want it to do for you. Okay? So that's it for today. I think I need to give you my website again, just in case you missed it, www.nancyfinch.co.uk, and you can catch all my talks on there, and this one will be on. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then please like, subscribe and share, because I want to get as many ideas that I've got out there so people can measure it, come back to me, give me feedback, and I can then see how I can adapt different things I'm doing for the book to serve you even better. I've got the ideas. I just want to make sure that you are useful. You know, the things I'm giving you are useful, and perhaps you can link one tool with another and give you some feedback. I'm also doing Tea with Nan, which is a live thing I do on Facebook every Monday at 12 o'clock. And that just discusses the talks I've been doing and which area of the body needs that particular tonic. So if you want to join me on that, it's about usually about 30 minutes or so, every Monday, 12 o'clock live. And you can come on and give me a situation that you feel that you want some help with, and I can then prescribe one of my talks. And next week, I'm going to be doing, for this talk, recorded talk I do, is going to be attitude of gratitude. So have an attitude of gratitude. It's what the practical things we can do in that concept of being grateful. Okay, the things that we can do to really amplify that to help our immune system. That's where it goes. And gratitude is such a beautiful thing to feel. It's really good for you in so many ways, and by the law of attraction as well. And I'll talk about that next time when I'm on here for that talk. So I hope you've enjoyed this. The basic bottom line to this is, please use the people you admire to help make you more what you want to be. So think about what you lack, think about who's got it, and just breathe that in as you move forward. Okay? Good luck with that. Please tell me how you get on. I would love to know. And I'm always here for you. And I wish you all a beautiful week. And I will see you again next week. And take care. Lots of love. Namaste. Bye, everyone.